In this video, we're going to see how to create and use modifiers. So in my mains category, I have a steak frit product, and I also have a bison burger and a portobello mushroom burger. So I'm going to use these products for the example for these modifiers. So I'm just going to click on modifiers in the list. And the first thing I want to show you, which is actually unrelated to any specific product, is the note. So what the note does is it allows you to write in any open note, either for the kitchen or the bartender. So generally you just need to have one note in your account. And what I like to do is make sure that the note is linked to all of your categories. So you can just click linked category and just make sure that every category you have has the note linked to it. So no matter what the item is, you'll always have the option to write in a note. So for our steak, I'm going to add a modifier group. So I'm going to click on add group, and this is going to be for the temperature of the meat. So how I want my steak cooked. So I'm just going to put a name for the modifier group. Then you have some settings here. So display inline will display all the modifiers in a list view as soon as the modifier window opens up. Multi-select is really important because this is how you can make it a forced modifier or not. So if you put a minimum value, it's going to make it a forced modifier. So in this situation, I've got a minimum value of 1 and a maximum value of 1, which is perfect because I have to choose one way that I want my meat cooked, but I can't choose more than one way. And then in this situation, I'm going to make it an auto pop-up. So as soon as I tap my steak, the modifiers will auto pop up. And then I'm just going to put in my options. So rare, medium rare, medium, medium well, and well done. And now you can see I have my options here. So you'll notice that rare is in green. That's because it's the default option. So the first modifier that you make is always made the default. So this means if you don't choose anything, it's automatically going to order the steak as rare. So if you don't want to have a default, just make sure you deselect that checkbox, and then here and now we don't have any default option. You'll also notice that you can drag and drop to rearrange the modifier order if you want to. So once you've made your modifier group and put in your modifiers, you can either link it to entire categories if you want to, or just link it to certain products within the categories. So I'm actually just going to link it to my steak product and my bison burger. Then I just save, and you'll see that those products there are under linked products, and I can just click OK. So let's do another example. So I'm going to add another group, and I'm going to call it Burger Add Ons. For this one, I'm going to select, for the multi-select, I'm going to make it a minimum value of 0. So this will ensure that nobody is forced to add something to their burger. And then since they're going to be paying for these add-ons, I'm going to make it no max value because I don't mind if they order as many as they want since they'll be paying for them. And for this situation, I'd probably leave auto pop-up off because not every customer is going to want to add something to their burger, so I don't want to annoy my staff with too many additional pop-ups. However, if you want to encourage upselling, you could maybe turn auto pop-up on to remind your staff to offer extras on the burgers. Then I'm just going to click new modifier, making sure I deselect the default option because I don't want to add something as a default. And then I'm going to put in the name, and then here I just put in the price. So I'm adding in all my options and just the price it is to add them in. And now you can see I have all of my burger add-on options. And of course I could add more, but this is just, I just put a few in there for the example. And then again, I could just link them to a category, or in this situation, again, I'm just going to link to certain products. So I'm just going to link them to my bison burger and my portobello mushroom burger. Now, one thing that is important about modifiers is the order that they are here. So the order that you see them in this screen is the order that they'll appear on the POS. So what you can do is you can turn on the manual sorting and just drag and drop to put the modifiers in the order that you want to see them. So for example, I want to have the note, then the meat temperature, and then the burger add-ons. So now let's switch over to the POS to see how it looks. So I'm going to my mains category, and I'm going to select my steak, and as you see, the modifiers will auto pop up. If I try and hit done without first selecting anything, it's just going to give me an error saying that I have to choose at least one option because I set the minimum value as 1. So I'm going to order my steak medium rare. And you see I also have the note option. So this is where I can type in any kind of message that I want to send to the kitchen or to the bartender if this was a bar item. Now I'm going to select my bison burger, and it also has these meat temperature modifiers attached, so the modifiers will auto pop. So I'm going to order that burger medium well, but you'll see here I also have the burger add-ons. And this is a good example of having the difference between display inline enabled and disabled. So for the meat temperature, display inline is enabled, so the modifiers are in a list view. For my burger add-ons, display inline was not enabled, so I have to tap on it, and then I'll get the modifiers on the next window. So it just depends on how you want to view it. Maybe if you have a lot of modifiers, if display inline's on, it might look very cluttered, so you might want to turn it off for certain items. So I'm going to add my portobello mushroom burger. Now, I don't have any auto pop-up modifiers attached to this item, so nothing has popped up. However, if I still tap the modifier button down the bottom, all the available modifiers and note options will still show up. So I can still access all the burger add-ons. I just need to select the modifier button to access those. And if you ever want to change any of your modifiers before you send them to the kitchen, just simply highlight the item, select the modifier button at the bottom of the screen again, and you'll get the modifier window again, which will allow you to edit and change any of your modifiers.